Okay, everybody, welcome one more time to the King's Cave 80 podcast. Woo! The comeback
The comeback.
the comeback of the year.
Season number 2, I guess.
Season number 2, yes. This will be the first episode in English of the second season.
Mm-hmm.
We're not planning on doing seasons.
It feels like it.
We just had to come up with something.
Yeah,
to,
it feels like it.
to justify our absence.
Mm-hmm.
Like as many of you know, I was a little bit ill. I was not feeling good health wise, but we're back.
We're glad to be back.
Welcome back, everybody. Carlos, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Can't complain. Just chugging along.
No, I know you can't. No, it's just I've seen you. I've seen you around. I've seen you
What have
around.
you seen?
I've seen you around shopping and buying.
Well, I could be on my deathbed and I'll still be buying. Well, that's not going to stop. I have a problem, guys.
Yes,
It's an addiction.
An addiction.
It's an addiction.
And it's not a good one.
It is because it makes me happy.
No. Anything is yeah.
It makes me happy.
Let's not go back to that subject. All right. How you doing, Isaias? Welcome.
Thank you, guys. I'm doing real good. I really missed doing this episode, recording, setting everything up. Yeah, I really missed it. The drive up here, not that much, but yeah, I'm really good.
Isaias, behind it, you said that you miss it, Isaias, but sometimes, like, it will take you a while. Like right now, Isaias is kind of like the diva. So he's the last one to arrive, and we have to kind of have everything set up for him. He just whatever he sets up whatever he brings to the podcast. But yeah, he's kind of like becoming a diva. So that's cool. That's cool.
I like,
that's good.
I'm seeing it now. Now that you mentioned it, now I'm seeing it.
Before that, it was Carlos. Carlos was like the big diva.
I don't believe that.
Yeah. Now it's just taking that place. Well, welcome everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your patience on for us to come back. I appreciate every message, everyone reaching out, saying that I don't know it was fake, but everybody saying that misses us. I appreciate that. I don't know if you guys were just playing with us or it was real, but if you did miss us, thank you. Appreciate that.
Exactly. Yeah, I do appreciate that too, because they were asked what's going on. They want to know what's the latest. What I like to hear is the main thing that I like to hear is they learn from this podcast. Yeah. That's a key thing that I like, that they're actually willing to learn stuff that we're saying.
I don't know if that's the right place to learn something here, but at least if we can get you a laugh, or we can just get something. If we can transmit something, if you can actually learn something, that's cool.
In the process,
But yeah, they just to have a nice chat, a nice moment. If you someone to hang out with. Mm-hmm. If you're driving, if you're
driving,
if you're at lunch, if you're whatever you're hearing us, well, thank you so much for doing
that in this break, something that happened in my personal life was that people around me were asking me, like, what happened with the podcast? How's Lisa doing? I had to explain how was your health going, to my mom, to my mother-in-law, to my cousin. I went to visit my cousin. He asked me, hey, I've been watching the podcast. I didn't know that he was watching the podcast. My cousin. And he was like, hey, what happened? What's not coming out anymore? I was like, no, Ulysses is a little bit down. But yeah, everybody was asking about it.
Yeah, see, at least our parents watched us.
Yeah.
Well, at least your parents watch us. Mine, they don't. They don't watch me. They know that I do this sometimes, but I don't think they watch my the podcast. So I feel like it's a good thing that my parents doesn't watch this.
Why is
they
that?
They don't like me cursing or anything like that.
But
I don't curse a lot. I don't curse a lot, but
don't.
But when sometimes I do it, like, oh man, if my mom is watching.
She'll be ready with that belt.
I'll be cursing more in English because she doesn't understand English.
She'll be ready with that belt, man.
I know, right? Yeah, for real. Yeah, I'll be 40 and I'm
watch your language.
I still be careful around that, and
your mom's always gonna be your mom. No matter how old you are, they're still gonna be your parents.
Your mom, will give you a pow whenever you were bad or something like that when you were little?
When I was I could probably count the times that she actually put her hands on me, which it wasn't just like you said, like just a pull of the ear or something like that. But
it was more your uncle, the one who puts his hands on you in a different way. Maybe
we don't want to go there. We don't want to go there. No, yeah, it wasn't. I mean, it was when I was really, if I was really acting up, yeah,
Yeah.
you know, and that it was typically when I was at a store.
What will be the reprimand? The reprimand?
So the main thing.
What will she do?
The main thing, of course, is you got to hit him where it
chancla?
hurts. No, you know what I'm saying is what she would do. She would take actually stuff away from me.
Oh,
My
okay.
comic books.
Oh, okay.
That hurt. Like my comic books, my toys, you know, things like that. That's what worked because yeah, there's a few times that you know I got punished, and you know it didn't work. But once they actually took something from me,
That's where you were
it
like,
worked.
okay.
And honestly, I took that with me, and that's what I do with my kids. If you act up, I look to see what they admire the most, and I take it away from them, and it's like the whole road collapsed. And it works. It actually works. It worked for me, and it worked for them. So that's the way I go about it. But there's been a few times that I get popped. You start getting used to it. Like it don't even work anymore.
But
Whatever.
what would it be like the chancla, the cinto, the belt,
It
or
was,
what would it be?
No, if anything, it was just like I said, she'll tug on my ear or something like that.
Oh, that's okay. So it was
So,
that bad.
there was really
Yeah.
never a point that it got bad, you know, like that. So.
No, yeah. I mean, I still believe in. I don't know. It's weird because I don't do that to my kids. First, because I don't know, for some reason, I either I have more tolerance than my parents, or they're better. I don't know. And we can talk about that, the difference between parenting before and nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't feel like I've ever put a hands on my own. I just one time like slapped my daughter's hand. And it was the oldest one, and it was just because she was like, they were little, and then the youngest was just like barely learning how to walk. And for some reason, and I'm telling you, my oldest daughter, she's the sweetest girl. You know her. She's the sweetest. She's
both of them.
like no, yeah, but the youngest, she's a little bit high. But
She's
she can
feisty, but
she's
no, but at
feisty,
the same time,
but they're
but-
super sweet.
Yeah.
And the eldest one, like the older one, like she kind of out of nowhere, like the little one was barely like walking and just getting close, and then for some reason she pushed her really bad, like and nothing happened to her, but from my reaction, I like just slapped her like right away. But that's the only thing that I remember.
Okay, let me ask you. Being that she didn't do that often, when you did that, how was her response?
I was shocked, but I feel like she cried a little bit. Of course, it was more about the act more than how
The
hard.
pain,
I didn't really hit her that hard. But it worked, you know. Like she didn't ever put her hands on her sister anymore. But nothing compared to what our parents will do to us.
Yeah.
But
I
now,
guess
even though I
that's-
believe on those type of corrections, and I don't do them to our kids, maybe because I don't feel like they deserved it. They've done anything to deserve it, or maybe they've done it, but for some reason are patient, or I don't know. The parenting, I feel like it's changed a lot.
Well, yeah, it's because times have changed. That's why it's I think now, and especially nowadays, believe it or not, you really can't. I mean, you really can't put your hands on your kids because you'll get CPS called on you.
I mean, I'm not talking about like doing more, but just like a pop up on the bottom.
I'm
like
still saying just in general. Yeah, they're crazy about that nowadays. Yeah, they're crazy about that. You gotta be real careful. That's what I'm saying. What you do, to me, the best, my opinion. This is what's worked for me is you take what they admire the most, and a phone, a game. Nowadays, that's what
we
it is.
grew up where not only your parents could, give you a correction, but at least I grew up, maybe not in the U.S., I don't know in here, but in Mexico, I grew up when the teachers can still hit you a little bit.
Yeah, that was
nothing like our parents, because our parents, like, they will hit, like, just the teachers will, they will with a ruler.
Wow.
But when I was little, I remember it was pretty funny because it was not funny because he will hit you really hard and it will hurt. But I remember there was this teacher, right? So he will got like this ruler, that 30 centimeters ruler, but it was not a plastic one; it's a wooden one. So it was a hard one, a hard wooden ruler, and it was pretty normal that they will hit. I'm talking when I was like in second, third grade, so we were little. So the way that they, like, if you would misbehave or you wouldn't just shut up on class or whatever things that, you deserve some punishment, it was mainly because you were like causing distraction and,
okay,
not whatever. So he will ask you to put your fingers like this. and then he will hit you with a ruler like in here, like just one pop, and it was.
Oh my god!
It will hurt. It will hurt real bad, right? So like, oh man, my turn. Like, then I'll
okay,
shut
well,
up.
let me ask you: Did the kids learn?
I mean, they'll
that-
learn to shut up. I don't know.
For how long?
I don't know. We'll learn to. I don't know. Like, you'll forget about the next day or the next week. You know, like you're just kids. You get used to it. Like you didn't see it. Nowadays, you'll do it, or the teacher will do it, and then you will say like, "Oh my god, this is crazy." I'm gonna tell my parents. But it was normal back then. Like it's just almost like, oh, it's part of it.
I'm pretty sure it happened in the U.S., but not where I was.
The funny part was that like one time with this friend, and for some reason he was like, he was one of those guys that like it was funny. He was funny without trying to be funny.
Mm-hmm.
So it was I don't know if you know what I mean. Like it was he would say something like everybody like he was not trying to be funny. He was just like naturally funny.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So he was just like, this was kind of the funniest things that I think is he would like he misbehaved, right? So the teacher like, hey, okay, just put your fingers like this. And every time that the teacher tried to hit him, like he was so afraid of it. He would pull him out. And then the teacher would just go like, and then he would get madder every time. And then he was almost like a play, like you can hit me or not. And they were like every time he would put it, like he would just pull it back. He was like, all right, I deserve it, but like he will bail out.
It was a reaction he had.
Yeah,
right?
it was like
His
it was
reaction.
so funny. Like the very last second that he will pull out, like the teacher will just get it madder.
So
and
did
then-
you ever get him?
Yeah, eventually,
Okay.
eventually, he was like,
That's what I wanted. Did you ever get him?
no, yeah, of course he was getting madder and madder. It was not good because the teacher was
Yeah.
getting upset about it and like they will hit you hard.
So it was a norm. So that your parents, they knew that was a repercussion that
you
y'all
know
would get in
when
school?
you know when my mom did actually go to school and like just was fed up about it because probably she knew about it, and there was another teacher that will throw the little chalk, the writer with.
Uh-huh.
He will just if you were talking about it, you weren't paying attention. He would just throw it at it,
That's
and it was
crazy.
just like, oh man, just pop you with the chalk, and like, oh, I'm sorry. Then he'll continue, just like normal, right? There was one time that my mom actually got like upset about, and I don't know where my mom drew the line, but I guess it was when this happened, right? So one time, my brother and my cousin, they were just playing around in the classroom, and they were just making this like little like paper like airplanes out of paper. And one of them got to the teacher, or just I don't know if he popped her or whatever, but just doesn't hurt, just like distraction, whatever.
Yeah.
So the teacher like pulled him up to my brother, and then just called my brother up, and then he just like wrapped up the airplane, the paper, and he made him like he didn't eat it.
Oh man!
But he put it on his mouth like, oh, eat it. You have to eat it. Like, yeah, like you have my brother like chewing it, like, and then my brother told my mom, and I guess that's where my mom drew the line. Like, okay, you can probably hit him with a ruler, with a chalk, but like eating the paper is not good. I don't know, but I guess you see that's where like
It's because that act honestly is a little different because now you actually just you're I mean, I don't want to sound like a newer parent, but it's almost like bullying, isn't it? Like, how you gonna?
I mean, it's
You're gonna have a
it's
kid
abu-
chewing
like
on
it's
paper?
power abuse, I guess. But I don't know. But whatever.
In that scenario, it was power abuse because he didn't do like anything that bad.
But that's just.
But it's still
It's just an
but it's a
airplane.
distraction regardless. It's still
You're distracting, and
it's still a
also
distraction.
you're almost making fun of the teacher. Like you're making fun of the.
That's what I'm saying. So what's the difference between?
I'm not saying that it was right.
No, but that's what I'm saying. We're talking about the degree of the infraction that the person.
but where do
because
you-
when you're actually chewing, you're making somebody chew on paper. That's like, come on, really?
But you see, that's
Maybe
where
it's
you
the-
also react, right? So you're reacting to chewing a paper, but also throwing the chalk, hitting you with a ruler. The other one was like the non-physical. They will put you on a corner. And literally with donkey ears, made out of paper. That's real.
Really?
Like, you've seen that on television, but that will happen. Like they'll
wow.
put you on a corner facing to the wall, like, and if you like just that's bullying too. There's no abuse. There's
God
no
damn.
physical.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
but like but you. And that was not only because you misbehaved, but sometimes like if you would get like bad grades, they're like, this dumbass. They didn't know the multiplications.
I mean, the worst thing that would happen that when I was young is recess, right? Playtime. Is,
Yeah. They will take it away. Yeah. That was
the only thing they did. That's the only thing that I remember ever happening. I never.
that sometimes happened, but also didn't as much because that the teacher's time to chill too. So they didn't want to have us, on their break, right? So they would just rather punish us during class rather than on their break time. But anyways, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like, well, the way they did it with us is like if you act up or if you didn't do your homework, that was mainly the thing. If you didn't do your homework, they would check it, and if you didn't do it, okay, either you had to sit in a class and do the homework, do the work that you during the recess time, or you'd be sitting right next to the teacher.
What about detention? Did you experience detention?
Detention, yeah, I got detention a few times.
That doesn't exist in Latin America. It doesn't exist.
No, I was sent to the principal office a couple of times, but yeah, no, the issues were resolved in the classroom. Like, if it happened in the classroom, it will resolve.
So in Mexico, yeah, there was no
no detention after school or whatever. Like no, because basically they have like the morning shift, I guess, and the afternoon shift. I don't know how to say it in English. But they will have two shifts on school.
The teachers or
no. The kids. There's kids. This is a group of kids that go from 7 to 12:30, and there's another group from 1 p.m. to 5:30 or something like that.
Okay, so then how long were your classes? How long was school for y'all?
From I don't know, from 7:30 to
Like
to
5
12.
hours.
Like I would say, yeah, also 5 hours, and then you have another because I guess there's a lot of kids and there was not enough schools. So they had to do turns to shifts. I don't know how to.
Okay, I didn't.
But so you cannot you don't have the time for detention after school. So you have to.
So let me ask you this: what about, was it a distraction if y'all brought toys to school? Were y'all allowed to bring toys?
Not allowed to. Maybe a couple kids will sneak on.
So, but it was frowned upon. They didn't like that.
No. This is a distraction. The most that you could bring, and it's funny because here in the U.S. the PE, will have the soccer balls or whatever you play with. In Mexico, no, you were allowed to bring your own balls because if you want to play soccer, sometimes the school didn't have soccer balls. And say, all right, so just bring your own, right? So and then you'll just put it away for the recess.
I know
and then you play
elementary
with it.
for us, we were able to bring, and that's what we did a lot of trading.
We'll bring the tazos. I don't know how to call it in English, like the little like the tazos, the circle.
The little tops of spinners?
No, they're not spinners. I don't know how to. They will come up. They will came on the chip bags, the chips, and then
like pogs.
I guess, but it's just like flat. It's just a circular.
It's like pogs. Like pogs. That's what they call them here. Pogs.
And they will just play with it. Would you hit it and then you have to flip it?
Pogs.
Okay. So you can bring those more than cards. You will bring those things and you will play with them. And then if they found them. They will just take them away from you.
I know. And this is. This is here. I think I told you about this. So you were able to bring figures. I would take my Ninja Turtles, of course. Everybody had Ninja Turtles or whatever.
I think, yeah.
And I remember one time I did get in trouble, and I did get a whooping from my mom that time. I think I told you about this where I wasn't paying attention in class. I was playing with my turtle. Under the desk. I was like this, playing with it, and all of a sudden...
With your turtle?
Yeah, with my turtle.
Okay.
And so... This girl right beside me tells me, "Can I play with it?" I'm like, no. And she goes, "Come on, let me play with it." We're tugging it. She broke the arm. The arm came off.
Oh shit!
So
and you punched her in the face.
I punched her.
Oh my god! I was being funny. Like
I punched her. I punched her out of reaction.
I started seeing a pattern in you, Carlos. So let's talk about that a little bit more, Carlos.
So
what makes you punch a person? Like let me see whether you.
Told you she grabbed my figure and she broke it. Or at that time, it wasn't broke. It just came out of the socket, so it wasn't broken. But you're little, you don't know anything. This was first grade. It was first grade. Yeah, it was first grade. And it was just a reaction. She broke it. And I just looked at her. And I just swung, and I hit her, and she started crying. And then the teacher got in my face and told me I shouldn't be. And so I had to take a note home, and I got a whooping from my mom. She says, "You're not supposed to be touching girls like that." I'm like, oh my god, it was just a big old thing. And honestly. Ever since then, I'm like, okay.
And honestly, she deserved it. You were like, come on. Huh?
Yeah, well, she asked me, like, what was the reasoning behind, what happened? And I told her she tugged on my finger and she broke. And I still remember it was a space cadet, Raphael.
Oh,
I remember clearly. I remember that clearly.
The thing with that is, like, when you explain the reason, like, you shouldn't have had that in the first place at school, right? So
no, because they allow it.
They allow it?
Yeah, like I said, you're allowed to take figures. You were allowed to take.
You're just not allowed to play with during class.
Yeah, during class you're supposed to, put it up, whatever. But yeah, no, that's what we would. whenever you get with your friends, we'll start playing the turtle. This guy would get a turtle, I would get a turtle, and we'll start playing on monster trucks, micro machines. I'm telling you, I remember playing with all that in recess. That's what we would play with.
I don't think we were allowed to. I don't remember bringing or having friends bringing. I don't know. I don't think we were allowed to.
But no, you would have to hide it, but you were allowed to bring like cards or maybe the pugs, stuff like that small, but not really toys.
No, because you will get like being kids, you will be super distracted.
I mean, it was so cool that even the teachers were like, you heard of the super soakers, right?
Super suckers.
Yeah, the people know. So they're water guns.
Oh, okay.
Vintage water guns. So you pump them. These things are like the water gun they have.
Okay.
You pump them, and they're supposed to like spray up to like 150 feet or something like that.
Okay.
And so, like at the end of the school year, this happened a few times. At the end of the school year, they have like a water party, I guess. And so they would buy super soakers for us. Look how much a super soaker costs for nowadays. They're expensive. It's a vintage toy now.
Okay.
And so that's it. Even they were cool with that. We were able to. That's what I said. There was never an issue. I think once I started getting like to second grade, it was all about sports. So we started playing with soccer. Not even soccer. I played football or kickball. Kickball was like the main thing at that time. Okay. But it's real cool just revisiting and thinking about that.
It's funny, but nowadays I feel like what do you think about, like, I don't know. I feel like nowadays, I'm not saying that it was okay to hit kids, but something changed. Like, and I feel like we went from one end to the other, where like before then, teacher had the power on the classroom, and I feel nowadays the kids have the power.
Oh no, yeah, I see.
So I feel like we went to the other side, and that's where like you started calling people the newer like snowflakes or the crystal generation, whatever. And it's becoming more like empower for the kids, and sometimes it's good, but sometimes it's too much power for somebody that doesn't know how to make a decision.
The shift change. I mean, I guess putting it what you said, that they had your brother chewing paper. Like
is he gonna die?
It doesn't matter. That to me, no.
I'm not saying it's right.
That to me, honestly, that drew the line. I
that's why my mom got super upset. No, okay, hold on. I didn't finish the story. Like, my mom got super upset. And she went up to the teacher, and she almost made her chew like
good.
Like, you think this is good? All right, now you chew it up.
Good.
And I don't think that I'm gonna ask my mom, but I don't think the teacher ended up chewing it, but my mom wanted her
to have the same.
Like, all right, so you feel like this is okay? All right, now you're gonna chew up on this paper, like piece of paper, like, and that's where my mom got upset. But for some reason, when the teachers will hit us, like, that was okay. Or, I don't know. We deserve it.
No, but
you know what? I saw this meme, or I saw. Hold on. That thought. I said real quick. But I saw this meme or this picture on the internet when back then, if your parents were called to the school, the first question the parents will ask is they will ask the teacher, like, what did he do? And now when you're called these days, like the picture will they're asking the kids, what did he do? What did the teacher do? Yeah. Like, how was that shift allowed? Like, how the kids now have the final? I don't know. It's weird. Sorry, what was you gonna say?
I was gonna say that when they hit you, you could argue if it's good or not, but that was like a correction of something you did or a consequence. In that scenario of the chewing paper thing, that would be like more humiliating.
That's what I'm saying. It's bullying. That's what
I'm saying.
It was kind of bullying. Yeah.
Same thing for the humiliating thing, like putting you in a corner. Like, they didn't hit you. They will put us on a corner facing the wall with a book or in the head or with the donkey ears.
I'm just picturing you in the corner.
I don't remember being on that corner, but I'm sure I remember a couple of friends, being there on that corner. Like, that's the same thing. Like, they didn't hit you, but it was like, it's almost the same. Like, it's bullying. It's humiliating for the rest of the class. And I don't know if that's the right thing to do. I don't know what's wrong, but somehow it all shifted to.
Yeah, but nowadays the teachers have no way of like putting on the respect on the class. Like,
no, but I don't know. I don't know how much power we took away from.
The thing about it is nowadays. I mean, it's an argument you could have even with your spouse. People argue it. this is gonna be one of those things that nobody's ever gonna be right. Everybody's gonna have their own opinions, but I never heard of little kids, having already being stressed, and going through that. They have to go to therapy because they're so stressed. And in my days, like, what are you stressed about? But they're stressed. They're stressed, and they're.
I don't know, man.
But you know what I don't know if you
feel
heard
like
that.
some of the times are like we're putting up those ideas on their heads that you're stressed. You're like, I don't know. I don't really know. I don't want to. I'm not an expert.
That's what I'm saying.
And I don't want to talk just in case that's somebody has a case that really it's in trouble. But
yeah, exactly.
but
No,
why did we do wrong?
it's acceptable. Like I said, there could be some situations where it's acceptable. They're probably kids are going through some stuff. That's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna say for everybody. This goes for everybody. No, I'm just saying. But there's some occasions that I've seen that the kids have it pretty good. I could tell you, I got nieces and nephews that have it good, and they're stressed over what?
I know.
And I'm like, what are you stressed over?
You don't pay bills. You don't have to. Yeah, I know.
But the saying goes with kids. Of course, us.
We were stressed about homework and the test,
yeah.
but we had to just deal with it. Just move on. Anyways.
I mean, yeah.
Anyways,
Before we move on this subject, my experience was that I took my Nintendo DS to school, and whenever we have some free time, we would play like Call of Duty, something like that, or Mario
Call
Party.
of Duty, goddamn. Man.
Yeah, or Mario Party.
He's young.
I know.
Or Mario Party. We would play like 4DS. They connected through I don't know what.
Mhm.
I think it's Bluetooth, and we used to play that or cards. We used to gather to play some cards like Naruto. Or Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't know if you
Mhm.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh.
heard of that.
Yeah.
And yeah, that would be like the closest thing to like bringing a toy, or maybe like a football or something. But I wasn't.
So
No,
I wasn't really able to
you're
bring
part of
something
the newer generation. Where like I don't know, I'm not sure if I think you're in the middle of it, right?
So is it safe to say nowadays in Mexico or Venezuela, wherever, is it safe to say that nowadays teachers don't hit students anymore either?
No, I don't think maybe on because there's still like remote places in Mexico where like rural places where you don't have like a lot of, I guess, control over the teachers. Maybe maybe I'm not saying there is or they're not, but in general I think that just got rid of. Like there's not a lot. There's no way that a teacher will put their hands on you these days. It's really hard to say, but I don't think there's that practice no more. But I could see, because in our times it was just more like the ruler on the fingers, the little chalk. But back then, if I asked my dad, that was whoopings. Those were whoopings.
Mm-hmm.
Like teachers were allowed to whoop. If you will misbehave. Like it was more like your drunk parent, that your drunk dad, like will just hit him.
That's crazy.
That was for my parents. It was. I've heard that it was bad, right? So we got the lightest end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, in my generation, no, I never heard of anybody like receiving
Nah,
any hate
you're
from a
still-
teacher. But you will still respect or try to behave, because if they took something from you, you could get it back like in 3 months.
That
would be a
That's
thing.
what I'm saying.
No, I'm saying, but we're probably kind of poor that we didn't bring, so there was no stuff there was not stuff to take from us. So it was just more like.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying will work for me. You heard Isaiah.
I saw a clip of a movie where the teacher like it was funny because it was more like one of those black and white movies. So it was more like probably my parents' generation. I don't know if it was like that or not, but the kid was like, one kid punched the other kid like in front of him, like, and then, hey teacher, that kid punched me on the back of my face, and he's like, what? So punch him back, and then you punch him back, like, oh, and all right, you got him, yeah, all right, so let's pay attention. So you got him back, that's it. Right? So we fixed it, right?
That's a good old time. That was
a good old time. Like,
yeah.
all right, he punched you, like, what are you telling me? Just punch him back. Like, poop. All right, so okay, let's go back to
easy. That's
Easy.
easy fix. Yeah, easy for me. That worked for me.
I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, other times.
I said I can't even defend my own action figure. I tried to, I told her leave my figure alone. And she tugged it, and I got in trouble for it.
So you're still in the belief that you deserved it. till this day, he will still punch her if she breaks her toe. Anyways,
man.
let's move on because Carlos has. I kind of see a pattern in Carlos, defending his toys. Anyways, so yeah, it's a big difference on times, but also on how people educate and how family. We're not even gonna talk about that, but just kind of like.
Like usual,
it was a fun subject to talk about. But the things that we wanted to talk about today was kind of related to family and how the times have changed and all that. Mm-hmm. And yeah, like I was gonna ask you, like how do your family see you collecting? Like what does your family or your close ones or your relatives see you collecting?
So their take on it is not everybody, like even my sisters, my mom. My mom knows a little bit, but of course, her being old school, she thinks that it's too much money that I spend.
Yeah,
and I mean,
and it is.
It is. But as but once you start explaining to her, so I have a passion for it, but the way I got to explain to her is like, Mom, it's an investment.
I don't think there's an explanation to this.
Well,
we tried to make up explanation.
No.
Look at Isaiah's face. Put a camera on you. He said, "Put a camera."
Hold on.
Isaiah is like,
but this is
Isaiah has been a year with us and he still doesn't understand. Like, what?
But this is what I have to tell my mom to calm her down. That's what I'm saying. I'm not telling her this is what, but just to make her understand.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's just not a waste.
That is right.
To make her understand.
To you.
Yeah, well, exactly. Well, to me, but to make her understand that it's an investment. It's an investment. It's not just money that I'm throwing away. Because, of course, it's like I've said, and we said it before, it's something different where, I know Isaias talked about he goes to concerts, and the only thing he takes with him are memories, which is, that's good. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you want to, do stuff that's not really productive, drugs, beer, stuff like that. You can't. If anything, that might even bring you death.
Yeah.
This is something that's. I don't have to be watching my back, being like, "Oh man, somebody's getting out to get me," because I'm over there stealing these figures, or I'm doing bad things. I don't have to worry about jail time, pretty much. Not unless I'm stealing them. That's different.
Unless you punch a girl in the face.
So yeah, I mean that's the only way for her to kind of understand where I'm coming from, and she's like, she in the beginning, of course, she was like, "You're crazy," but she kind of understands. My sisters aren't too involved in it either because they're doing their own thing, so I'm doing mine. I mean, my son, he doesn't. My daughters, they're just whenever you die, just like.
Would you ever tell your mom how much you spent on the collection?
I think on my deathbed. If I die before she does,
just so she doesn't sell it for cheap.
yeah. I mean, well, like I said, I always mention that is if something were to happen, please, before you even if you do decide to sell, do your research. We always talked about that.
Talk to Uli. Uli will take care of you.
No, I don't know. I think he's a little bit more on the trustworthy side.
Anyways.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, but that's that to me is the best way to.
Do you have a rough estimate on how much? Like, do you know how much you spent? Like, I'm not saying to disclaimer right now, but do you have a rough estimate?
I have like 2 shelves, and I kind of did. Okay, remember, I don't have a big display. I just have like 2 shelves, just random stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But everything is boxed up. Sometimes I forget what the hell I have, believe it or not.
No, I do.
I'm like, damn. But I could say in those 2 shelves, I actually did my calculations, and I could say, with confidence, yeah, that I have at least in that shelf, those 2 shelves put together, it's about 100K, if not a little.
Just in those cases,
yeah.
I don't believe you have only 100. Like,
no, that's what I'm saying.
No,
no,
like,
just in those, yeah.
I know a couple of pieces of you that'll be half of that you have.
So yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, that's what we think about. Like, man, all the stuff that's in here is like.
But has your mom seen it? She has seen your collection.
She's seen some of it. Yeah, she sees. But I mean, it's like, to me, I don't know. I'd rather show somebody that's gonna be
excited about.
Excited.
Yeah, because my parents. My parents come here too.
Oh, okay, and then where's the food at? You know, they want
Yeah.
They're focused on something else.
Exactly.
And
Happens
me,
a
I
lot
want to
of time.
show somebody that's gonna be passionate with me. Like if Yuli sees,
Liz excited. Yeah.
oh, congrats! Oh man! Look at the cat! Look at the cats! Oh my gosh! Like, can I touch them? And
Yeah.
you know,
you're no, but at least you want to touch him. Yeah. You cannot.
I'm gonna break. I'm gonna break.
Yeah,
one of them. But anyway, so that's why you just want to show her something, but you know,
Somebody, if there's not a reaction, that's another one. It feels weird because if there's not a reaction, I feel like you work so hard on your collection. Then when you bring a family that they don't care about it, like usually it's your parents for me or for you too. Like I guess it's just a pattern right there. But like you didn't see a reaction like, damn, I worked so hard on this and I couldn't get oh, nice work. But so you know, my parents are Christians, so every time that I come in here, like I'm like all those demons, all those demonios, esos demonios, all those demons.
I tell them, I'll do the same thing. Your son has a bunch of demon stuff in there. We got to get rid of it.
Yeah. One time, let me tell you something. Like one time, I was trying to sell. Whenever I was trying to sell all the newer stuff that I had. And there was like a couple of I was pulling like a Star Wars lot to sell, right? So and then there was a couple of droids that I had.
Okay.
That they were newer. There was newer because they were like little droids, like an R2D2 and BB-8.
Yeah, BB-8. Yeah.
So you can actually control them with your phone, and it's pretty cool. And they're pretty inexpensive, right? So they're like $50 or something like that, $40 each. So I already sold this box. But, the guy hadn't, picked it up yet. And when I was showing my dad, I was like, oh, look, this is pretty cool, And I showed him I guess the R2D2, it's still fun. But the BB-8 being like a ball and then
and it rolls.
The way it rolls, like it throws you off. And like, it's pretty cool to see, to watch. And my dad was more impressed. Like, he doesn't know anything about Star Wars or anything. Like, he was like, oh man, I really want that. I'm like, oh my God. And he was like, how much? He knew I was selling. He was like, how much you'll sell that to me? I'm like, Dad, I wouldn't sell it to you. I would have given it to you, but you didn't tell me. And it's already sold. I'm like, oh man. And I'm like, all right, Dad, but I'll get you one. I'll buy another one, like $50. I'll get you one. And he was telling my mom. And the next day, like, no, I don't want it anymore.
What your mom
come on, Dad. No, I really don't want it. Like, I don't want to make you spend. Like, Dad,
I was just playing.
I don't think it was because my mom told like, I don't want that demon. I don't quiero ese demonio aquí en la casa. I don't want that demon in the house or whatever.
You think that's what she told him?
I'm 99% sure and confident that that's what he's doing.
Did he ever see the Megatron or the Optimus that you had?
I don't think he did. I
think he would have.
Like, oh my God, this is powered by the devil.
Whatever. Your mom would have probably ran out the house.
Probably. But nah, yeah, it's funny. It's funny how parents will see your collection and probably not realizing. And it's just all they see is probably like, especially our parents, like, the old school. And the money, is very scarce.
Back in the days,
very scarce and very precious. And I guess seeing that you spend anything more than $50 or $100 is like just a waste of money.
Well, of course, back then, I mean, like I said, I could speak for us. I'm not talking about, but back then, money wasn't. We didn't have luxury to be spending money, and that's why I get what you're saying. Going back to that, I mean, the funniest thing for me is, of course, I'm a horror guy too. I like horror stuff, so I always bought like Freddy's and stuff. And this is where back in the days, my sisters, it was the funniest thing because they would never go into the room. Yeah, because I had Freddy's, I had Jason's everywhere, all on the walls.
Scary.
Yeah, and
you have a Chucky on your arm.
Yeah. I have a bunch of horror stuff on my arm. So, like I said, that was my number one go-to thing when I started collecting. More so when I got a little older. I went to horrors, and I still have a bunch of horror stuff. Believe it or not,
it was a funny story. Like he mentioned the Chucky on your arm. Like, it was funny. I was showing. My sister-in-law was showing her kids our podcast. Like, oh look, your uncle has a little podcast, and he was showing this. And the little kid, like the little one, he was just watching it. Like, look, mommy, Chucky. I'm like, no, there's not a Chucky there. There's a Chucky. Like, no, like, and then my sister-in-law took a while, like, yeah, well, that's Chucky, it's Chucky. And like, it was on your arm, like, oh, you saw the tattoo.
Wow.
And but he like, oh, look, mommy, Chucky.
Oh, okay. Good eye. Good eye.
Good eye, yeah.
Well,
Shout
okay.
out to my sister-in-law, to my nephews.
Hopefully,
I should have done
hopefully
this
start
shout out
liking-
in Spanish, but
Hopefully he starts liking Chucky.
yeah, he I guess he loved it because that was the first thing that he saw. Like, oh, look, mommy, Chucky.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
Hey, question. Do you think that your parents might feel bad because you have that many toys and maybe they weren't able to give it to you when you were young? Something like,
They don't give a damn.
They
man.
don't give a damn. Yeah, no, they just
They don't
But
care.
why?
Because
I'm saying like it's different. It's a different generation.
Yeah.
It's a different way
they're
to raise
tougher.
this.
I think because they're tougher, and as long as they gave us a roof over our head, and we
Roof
get
and food.
and food, that
Everything was good.
That's what I'm saying. It's
That's what I'm
okay.
saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like I've sometimes asked my dad, like, Dad, just the simple like, I'm not complaining about you, you know, like sometimes
yeah.
correcting me, but I'm like, how could you do it? Like not because it hurt me, just because I cannot do it to my kids. Like how could you be so heartless or whatever? Like I'm like, I don't know. It was just like
It just came. It's
it's
came
just
to me,
weird
man.
because it's just so weird. Like I feel like every generation has, you know, become like softer. Not only the kids, but us as parents. And I'm not saying that it's wrong and that we have to go and beat up our kids, but just the thought about, you know, hitting my kids the way. Don't get me wrong, like it wasn't that like. If I tell you, it sounds like super bad the way that I was punished. But we were kids. I thought it was normal, and like honestly, most of the times I deserved it.
But that's the thing. It's because it was a norm. It was normal. That's what I'm saying. It was. I don't know if your times you say yes, if it's normal, but back in the days, I mean, I seen some stuff. I seen some of my friends get popped by their parents like in front of me, like, oh crap, and the room gets quiet, and I feel like I'm in trouble. I don't even want to say nothing.
That's
you know?
the thing. That's another thing, right? So one thing is that they will just pop you, or whatever. But in front of your friends, that's when it becomes more like we said, like it's more like bullying, more like embarrassing you, right?
Yeah,
So my parents wouldn't correct me in front of anybody. They will just wait until after. That's another thing. Like if I wait, and she's like, I forget about it. All right, so just don't do it again. And that's the way for me. Like my mom wouldn't forget. Like it could pass like a couple of days. Like boom, from
forget.
yesterday. I'm like, how could you remember? Like I already forgot.
No, I used to be afraid because I know that nothing bad was gonna happen in public. But I know that once we
But
get to the
how
house,
they
it
keep
would be
hold on that? Like
yeah.
if I don't do it on the moment, like I will just forget or I'll just calm. All right, okay, so I'll just all right.
Yep.
So if I ever think about popping one of my girls, which is rarely happens, or
What?
so if I wait a couple of hours, just like
One time, I know my son. He was young, and I got in his face, and I got him. I set him down because he was acting up. But here's the deal. I'll talk to you good about it. Like, don't do that again. You know, he was young. I think he was like 5 or 6 years old, and they told me, hey, he's talking too much. He's not paying attention. Okay, so I had to talk with them. The next day, he still did it again, and I told him, hey, I told you already. Like, this was like the 4th time in a row, and this is time I got in his face, and he told me, I won't do it again. He goes, you turn into the Hulk, because I never really got after him like that. That time I was really upset with him because I feel like, why aren't you taking me serious?
Yeah, exactly.
And so that
the disrespect is whenever like you sometimes feel like it's just in their nature. Sometimes when they're kids to talk, to play.
it's gonna
like,
they get distracted. I mean, and I felt like he was getting distracted, but I know it's one thing just to the one thing that I always do with my kids is I never just do something just to do it. I always explain why. That's one thing that I always gave my kids is I'm gonna tell you why I did it. If you don't approve of it, or if you don't agree to it, so be it. But I'm giving you my reasons why. I'm not just doing it because there's times my mom like would just get mad and like, what happened? I mean, what are you upset about?
Yeah.
And so at least, but I think
At least they get a warning. Not like, for me, I always get a warning. Like my dad will never pop me without a warning, and
Exactly.
and he was usually 3, 4, 5 warnings, and then it will just hit me really good. It will get me really, really good.
Strain your ass up.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
And it was the worst part. Whenever he will just punish me, and it was me and my brother. So my brother is just only 2 years older than me. So every time that we'll get popped, it was together because we will get in trouble together. So the best thing that could happen to me, it was to get in trouble by myself. Let me explain you why.
I want you to explain
Because
that.
I was a crier,
Okay.
right? So I'm still a crier.
Yeah, that's what I said. You were.
I still am crier.
Okay.
So if my dad will pop me, I will scream and cry, and so my dad will think, all right, so he'll learn that's enough. One pop is good. So my older brother is a lot tougher. So a lot tougher. He will not only not cry, he will sometimes laugh.
He goes, give me another one.
He will basically ask you for another one. And I'm like, shut up, man. Like, stop laughing. I was already crying. And he will laugh, and then my dad will think, all right, so that was not enough, so another one, pop. And then he already gave him another pop, so I will get another pop because, it was even Steven, right? So I had to get another one. I'm like, no, pop. So that was on him. So the best thing that could happen is just for me to get in trouble by myself.
Oh my God,
I would just get one, and that's it.
That's
but
funny.
sometimes my brother, he was like, I'm like, bro, stop or fake crying or just start faking it or whatever. But like, stop, man, because it will hit us both.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
and yeah, but like I'm just like, oh man, and the way that my dad will pop us, it was okay, guys. We're like, I'm just telling the truth, but it was not that bad, I guess, or it was bad, but whatever.
It wasn't.
Don't go after my dad, anyways. So it was one of those like badas. It was just one of those like wooden sticks.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll make us rise our pants instead of on the butt. How do you call the back part of your like the calf?
Like of your thigh or something?
Yeah, here, right here. What is
Your calf. Your calf.
calf? Like bow in the back of the like.
The calf.
Is that the calf or the back of the? All right, so
it's a calf. Yeah.
so with the stick, and then we just put both legs together so we pop both of us, both of our calves.
Okay.
So one will be good to cry. That was a lot. Sometimes our brother will ask for the second one. And
Oh, man. Your brother's tough.
Yeah, he is tough. Until this day, man, I have to give it to him. But, man, I got some extra pops because of him. So, anyway.
Shout out to you.
Shout out to my brother. Shout out to Eder. Man, it was just, oh, my God.
Well, here's a question. Yeah, now the question for you. What does your family think?
My family, about the collection, it's just similar to your parents. My parents, they will think just too much money spent in here. I don't think.
But you don't really tell them like.
No, yeah, I do. I will tell them how
You're
much.
brave for that.
I will
You're
tell them
brave.
like probably not all of them, but yeah, I've told them. And then one time I was selling and I'm selling this collection. Oh, it's a lot of money. I'm like, yeah, but because I'm buying something with the same money, I'm like, oh man, it's a lot of money. So they will say it both ways, but yeah, I'll tell. I'm very open with my dad and my mom. They would just think it's just too much. They wouldn't approve if it was their money or anything
of
like
course,
that.
yeah.
Of course, but so my parents know about it. They just my dad will probably think it's cool, but my mom thinks they're like demonios, or they're all
devils, yeah,
demons
the
and
devils.
devils. Couple of cousins have come in here. Couple of in-laws.
Uh-huh.
So mostly they think they're cool.
Let me ask you this.
My nephew
When
think
when family comes in, do they ever? Is that one of the main questions they ask? Is how much? How much?
I think it's inevitable, but it's not the first. It's not the first question. It is inevitable because I don't think they realize how much is it.
Mm-hmm.
Once I tell them, it seems like I don't know if it feels awkward. Like
It's so funny.
I didn't know it was.
Touch nothing, guys.
It's the exact reaction right after I say how much. I'm like, oh, hold on, don't nobody touch anything, right? Because they're afraid of breaking something. Not everything costs that much, but still. But yeah, I feel like my nephew, every time that he comes from Monterrey, he just comes in. He wants to stay in here. We have a bed for him, up there. But now he wants to stay here. He video chats with his friends and
Cool, man.
And I don't know. He thinks
Hopefully he gets that same.
I
He has
think
that same passion. Yeah.
Yeah. He likes Pokemon a lot, so he kind of like goes after the Pokemon cards and all that. But I think family sometimes is family and friends. I don't know. They just think it's cool, but sometimes I don't think they grasp the idea of why. I think this is the big question. When
Well-
I think, and honestly, I think that's the same question that even Isaias may have. Because even if you don't feel it, if you don't get into it,
Yeah,
there's
but
gonna be still the question in the back of your head.
well, the thing about it is like Isaias, why would you spend that much to go on a concert? I could ask the same question on his
Yeah,
passion.
you know, I've started to doubt myself on that because
No, well, I mean, I'm
No.
not asking you. I'm just saying out loud that it's like this is our passion. That's what I'm saying.
Mm.
But you go ask a guy that's gonna spend about 100
But
grand.
there's gonna be thousands of people, more people going to concerts, so it's more, I would say, understandable. Hold on, I would say more understandable. Yeah, there's a lot more people going to concerts, a lot more people spending on beer or whatever.
But this is your
than
world.
buying toys.
But this
so
is your
buying
world.
toys or collectibles is not as mainstream. So that's what I'm saying. Like people might like compare the numbers is not. We might see it like a lot because we know a lot of people.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
We know a lot of people, but do you know 100,000 people? The one that you will fill up to fill up a concert.
But what I'm getting at is that's what I'm saying. I'm not going. I'm just talking in general. Where I mean, why does he go to?
That's what I'm
saying he's
saying.
wrong.
But it's
Or
more
it's almost like
common.
it-
It's more common to spend on a concert than spend on a figure. That's what I'm saying.
But you're going specifically. I'm just going based on
I
like
understand your question.
cars, like fixing up cars.
It is more common.
Guys fixing more cars.
I understand your question.
Well, it's
I'm
not
just
a
trying
question,
to
it's just a-
I'm just justifying why I feel like it's more or it's less common to buy action figures or spend this much on action figures.
Well, it's because of the cost. Yeah, I mean, I get it, but it's just like I said again. It's just people question why we do that. Well, why? What is the reasoning behind this?
Mm-hmm.
It's a passion of ours. It's just like he has a passion to go to. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a passion, yeah.
But what I'm saying is, it's harder for
God
people
damn
to.
it, Yuli,
It's
yeah.
harder for people to understand. That's what I'm saying. 'Cause it's not very common. So I feel like family will just. I don't think anybody's upset about it. Maybe not that anybody that has told me. My brothers know about it.
Well, I don't think they'd be
Well,
upset because I think they'll be upset if you're spending their money. They'll be upset. But if you're not spending,
let's see if with this example you see it the same way. When you have a toy collector, I understand why Liz is saying that you want to ask like, but why toys? Because there are collectors of watches and cars, and when you find yourself with a collector like that, you don't like question like why. You understand like watches are cool and cars are cool, and toys you need to like go a little bit deeper.
A lot of
to
people might
understand
think
why
that
it's cool.
it's childish.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying,
Well,
that's why I'm
'cause
saying a lot of people will say why if it's
Oh,
like
but let
something
me-
for
okay,
kids.
but-
Nobody ask why
okay, but hold
do
on.
you collect cars.
Okay, let me ask this, and I'm gonna get y'all right here. Any adult was a kid, right? Had to be a kid first, right?
Yeah.
And I guarantee you that every adult had a toy, had one to. The reason why we have a passion because we had a toy when we were little, but we stayed with it, we stuck with it, right? But when I bet you if a guy collects watches, I guarantee he had a toy when he was little.
Yeah.
More than 9 times out of 10.
I agree with you.
But why do like kids after like 13,
That's what
12 they
because
stop, like,
I'm saying
playing with toys?
this is where they transition and they grow out of it. That is the only difference because
Yeah.
they may think it's childish because
That's
they,
what I'm
they probably
saying.
transitioned out
That's
of it.
what I'm saying.
But what I'm saying is at the end of the day, collecting or having action figures is known worldwide because every damn kid that could have a toy had a toy. They became adults. They
Not-
still had a toy when they were young.
I'm still agreeing with Isaias. Where like
what is that weird crew? I don't know.
Isaias will say like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and what he's saying is that, you know, people will still ask why toys, like, you know, and then when Isaias is mentioned, like nobody asks like if somebody collects cars, like, oh, it's not why, it's like, oh, that's so cool. Or if somebody collects watches, like, you nobody
I
says
got
why.
question before. I mean, people
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's cool to collect watches. It's cool to collect, you know, cars or whatever. And it's cool to collect toys. Don't get me wrong.
I'm about to say, what the hell are you talking about?
I think it's
Okay.
cooler. But for the majority of people,
There's
that's what I'm saying.
there's no
you don't
statistics.
see it that way because you're in it.
No, because there's no statistics out there that actually say it's cooler to do this than cooler to do that. There's none.
Put it out there. Like I will have like
Put it out there. Look it up. But there's no statistics that tell you
I don't think there's
what's
any
cool and what's not.
statistics.
Statistics, yeah.
But I think it's still more common for other collectors than toys. Like, because I feel like toys, people might. And I'm saying I agree
Okay,
with you too.
can I ask
I
you
agree
this?
with
Are
you
you-
too
when you
about
say- when you
everybody.
say-
Everybody had a toy, and everybody had like have that like inner child. I understand, but still to this day, a lot of people don't want to show that part of them,
Okay, well, hold on. So let me ask you this:
and they will try to
do you consider a toy being a toy, or are you also considering like collectibles in general, as in like when it comes to
Toys,
when
like,
it comes
it
to
can-
Marvel, when it comes to whatever,
It can be a
comic books,
collectible. It can be a
comic books.
collectible for a person that is not involved in it. Still going to be a toy, whether it's like
Okay.
30 years old or 40 years old
so
or newer.
if it's not, I mean,
Like-
if you look at these auctions, Julie, you're looking at these auctions, you're keeping up with it,
But
right?
yeah, I
Hold
know,
on, no,
but
no,
you're
I'm
talking
just-
about the community that knows about it. I'm talking about the ones that they're not collecting.
It's the same thing, man.
Let me
It's the
let
same
me
thing.
let me see if with this question you might understand what we're talking about. Burgers. Everybody loves burgers, and you never would ask like, why do you love a burger? But what if you find yourself with someone that they love? I'm not sure how it's pronounced. Compote. Do you know this baby food that's in a little compote?
Oh,
like
the Gerber.
Gerber?
yeah, like the Gerber thing. Compotas. I'm not sure how to say it. In English.
I don't know, but no.
If somebody tells you, man, I love compotas, do you think they're yummy? Do
You
think
ate it
baby
when
food is
you
good?
ate it when you were a kid,
Yeah, it's
but
just
now
so
you're still
good.
eating it. Like
I'll
just,
eat it now.
But
Yeah.
you would
Exactly.
understand why a person will say why you're eating a Gerber.
Because it's just, but it's like
You
I
look
said.
weird.
And
you
you
look weird
ask
eating.
them, and wait, and
Imagine
you
you're
ask them.
eating out of a Gerber
So
pocket.
what you're,
You ask them, what is your favorite? You ask them, what is your favorite food? I said, number one,
A Gerber.
Gerber. Like, you would ask like, why?
Okay,
Why?
but okay. My question is, you're pretty much putting it as collecting is not as cool
No, I think it's just cool. I'm just saying that
because the population is saying it's not going to be cool.
perception
Of
the
somebody
perception of
outside.
that's why I'm saying like the perception of the people might be is not as cool because it's a toy, not a car, not a watch. Like it's the same thing. Like I'm not saying it's not cool. You're trying to defend it like I'm saying it's not. I'm trying like come on. I'm a collector, but a lot of people will ask why toys, you know, because it's for kids. It looks childish. Whatever they can come up with.
Okay,
And
so
I understand your explanation. It's
okay,
just,
so
I'm
so
saying
then
is
let me put it like this, then Isa. Let me hit you with this one. So how
he's
does,
fighting us
He's
as
fighting,
we
he's
were
fighting.
and
the
I'm gonna
ones.
continue. I'm gonna continue because you know I'm a fighter.
We're in the same.
I'm gonna continue because I
addiction
know.
loophole. With
So how does a collector become a collector? How does a collector become a collector?
Once you start like I don't know. Because
Yeah,
Because
you have a passion.
Because then they start. Somebody say, "Oh man, I remember this when I was young.
Mhm.
I think this is cool. I would like to own one."
And then when you have more than two, you become a collector.
And you start collecting. It was a perfect example for you. What was that? I keep forgetting that figure that you like, or what was it?
Max Steel.
Max Steel.
Max Steel, right? And you even started thinking about like,
Yeah.
You start thinking, but then you even start talking about. I think I'm gonna stop going to the soccer games because I think it's too much. Didn't you say that last time?
Mm-hmm.
So he's leaving something that sports is worldwide, well known. But then you also talked about possibly getting a figure. The same thing. We have new collectors. We have new collectors every single day. It's not like we're just throwing. So it's you still have people saying it is cool. But what y'all going off? Y'all going based off the population of statistics that there's none out there to say watch collecting is better, is cooler than this, or people are gonna understand this more than understand. No, because
I think Carlos is going off for something.
no,
that we don't like.
and I guarantee you, I guarantee people understand what I'm talking about. I guarantee because you always.
Ain't nobody understand what you say. Ain't no, not even you understand what you say.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
Nobody
but we
understand what
agree
you
with
say.
you. We agree. We understand it's cool.
But we're not.
And I agree with you. That's
But we're,
the thing. Like,
but we're going based off what we're talking about now is watch collecting. We could say that a lot more people will say it's cooler because they understand it better than.
they might not
You don't
say
have
it's
to
cooler.
explain.
I'm just saying we're not even saying that. We're not even saying that it's much. Hold on.
Okay.
We're not saying that it's much cooler. We're saying that people will not make the same question to a cards collector, a watch collector, to a toy collector. And the question is, you will ask a toy collector, somebody that is not related to the hobby, will say why toys and not to the
But
watch
they're gonna
collector.
question anything like that. If I'm
No, I'm saying like no. When you see somebody that watches like, because I don't know, it's just different. It's just always going to be the question about toys. Why toys? You know, But again, moving on. Like I agree with you. You see, that's the thing. On the addiction subject, I didn't agree with him, and we were fighting. And this one, I agree with him, and we're still fighting. Anyways,
No.
no. Oh my God. Anyways, let's move on.
Something I was going to mention is that I started doubting myself on my hobbies because
On your sexuality. I don't know. I always thought with that chongo. Oh, never mind. I have a chongo too.
because when you buy toys or when you buy collectibles, action figures, you retain the value at least longer, like really way longer than a
You might
concert
retain
ticket.
some value, yeah.
Yeah, than a concert ticket or something like that.
But you retain memories.
On the
Okay.
ticket.
Yeah, so
the concert.
you will go to like the big question of.
But you
what's more
cannot sell.
important.
You can retain the memories, but you cannot sell the memories back.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. So I'm starting to respect more, even way more the collectibles, even from my own hobbies, because if there comes a time that you need to sell them, you're gonna get something back.
2025, Isaias better have a collection.
Yeah,
That's what it sounds like.
That's gonna be the.
That's what it sounds like. 2025, Isaias gonna have a collection. That's gonna. Remember how we have our goals.
We're gonna ask you what will you be? What will
Mhm.
your action figures to get for the year?
Mm-hmm.
You have to
We're gonna
go
hold
and
you to
hunt.
that. We're gonna hold you to that, Isa.
But yeah, that's something I've learned, that if you need to, you can get something back or even more.
Yeah, that
So,
happened to me. It happened to me. I have this project that on the side that I want to invest in, and I started selling some of the high end figures so I have for turtles.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I've come up with a good number. I've sold some. I lost some money on some just to sell quick, but I make up on another one. So I feel like I break out even. But like I said, I'm not trying to make money, but at least to gain back what I put in, right? So to get back what I put in. And that's a cool thing. One of the cool things. That's what I'm saying. I don't see it. And this is something that I don't agree with you, Carlos, when you mentioned.
Oh, here we go.
When you mentioned that you tell your mom it's an investment, we've always said here
It's to
that
make her understand that. That's
you
why
can make her
but
understand.
I said that.
But
said
I don't
that.
see it I don't see it as an investment to the long run because the prices may drop.
Mhm. We both agreed.
But you will get something back. That's for sure.
That's what I said.
You may not get what you put in, but at least you can get something back.
But that's why I specifically said to make her understand
Yes.
that
Yes.
was it. But I don't. Yeah, you're absolutely right because we said it. I said it too. If 10 years from now, I don't know if this is gonna be worth money. I don't. I'm not. I don't have a crystal ball to say. Because if I did, trust me, then I'll start going after things that I know that's gonna be worth money. But we don't know
if
that.
we did, we would have kept the ones that
Exactly.
are more
So
valuable.
that's why, yeah. I mean, I do it because, as I mentioned, and I'll say it again, the muscle months was a perfect analogy for me. I seen it and I just seen it and I liked it. I have to have them.
Yeah, once you have.
But it wasn't. I wasn't like, well, how much do they cost? How much can I get? How much? I never asked that question. I never asked a question when I
Yeah,
like something. I never asked, well, how much can I get out of it? I asked, like, man, that's cool colors. I like the mold.
Yeah.
So that's what gets me gravitating around that figure. It's not to see how much it goes.
Yeah,
for.
and I think that's a perfect example of a bad investment for me. I will say so because I don't think I will ever get back whatever I put in, but I wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
And probably it's one of the bad, I will say bad actions or bad things to have in this hobby. When you know you're making a bad investment, but you still want the figure, and being so unique, I just wanted him. I wanted to have him.
Mm-hmm.
I completed the line. I don't think anybody
But-
can say that
Yeah.
about the muscle mods. And I might or may not, like, that's a perfect example because I don't think it's an investment at all generate that money back
Mhm.
unless it's a crazy, rich guy that wanted it so bad that it's going to put up whatever I put in. And if I want to sell, it may come to a day where I don't want to sell. And that's the hard part because whenever you want to sell, nobody's showing up with the money. So it's hard to sell any other toy lines. Imagine that one that is so super, dark and obscure.
Yeah.
So I don't think, especially at that price, there's going to be very, very few collectors willing to pay that money. So for me, it's an investment. No, for me, it's just
passion.
a luxury that to have it complete, and I wanted it. And
I think it's more of a passion. Yeah,
it's more a passion because I don't think, and if I ever get the money back or if I make money out of it, wow, great, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But again, I don't even think on selling. I'm not even thinking on selling right now, and I don't even know if it's gonna be by the time that I want to sell. I don't even know if it's gonna be worth that much.
But it's like what we talked about in this, like one of the first podcasts. I mean, honestly, we said it. If people want to see it as investment, there's nothing wrong with that. That's if they want to see it that way, because there's no wrong way to collect.
Just don't see it as your retirement. Because some people do see it as an investment.
But people do, and honestly, I wouldn't be the one to tell them don't see it as a retirement. That's up to them.
I would say.
Yeah, that's up to them.
Don't do it.
That's up to them. You're talking with experience, which is fine. It's good if you want to lead people down that path. Nothing wrong.
No,
with
I'm
that.
saying like because one thing that I'm gonna tell you is not that easy to sell.
Yeah. Oh no.
That's what I'm saying. Like sometimes we think it's an investment because we buy it so easily, and then we with so much passion, and sometimes we think there's 1,000 or 2,000 people with the same passion out there, like buying and spending as much as we do. And once we're trying to sell, try it out. Try to sell something, and you'll see how hard it is to sell, and how much people are going to bargain.
If you do sell it, you're going to sell it for a lot cheaper. And that's what people.
How much people? Unless you have some grail, but it's hard to. And then people was going to bargain with you, and there's going to be. So it's not that easy to sell. So if you see it as an investment, like watch out, because it's not as easy to sell.
It's just
as you.
This pretty much we want to say. This is advice. It's advice. It's not telling you what you should and should. It's just advice. Like we like to give advice, and I think that's good advice.
At least an experience based on our I'm not necessarily an advice, but just like what I've experienced, what I've gone through. Again, I'm nobody. I'm not old enough to be giving advices, but based on my experience, it's not as easy to sell as we buy. When we buy in, once we have money within, I just want to get it. But when it comes to selling, if you don't have the proper context, if you don't have the reach as a good store or as a good whatever people, I don't know, it's hard to sell.
Yeah.
But if you take like the same amount of time you've been in collecting to sell your collection, you wouldn't get the same amount of money that you put in?
I don't think I will. I will. It'll be close. Probably I'll be getting like a 75% or a 70% of like it's now depending. Like if I want to sell it, just keep this in mind, right? So it took me 3 years to buy my collection. I don't want to spend 3 years selling it. So if I will wait the same amount of
that's my question
of selling.
Then
if I can spend the same amount on selling, like the same amount of when I don't know how to phrase it, but I think you understand what I'm saying. Like if I'm gonna spend the same time that I did buying, selling, I might get the money that I put in. But usually you want to sell. If I want to sell the whole collection, I want to sell it in a couple of months, right? So, but I bought it on 3 years.
Yeah.
So definitely you're not gonna get back.
I mean, there's been some pieces that I could tell you that I know you made some money on. I mean, there's some pieces you can make money, and you don't have to sell the whole lot. There are some pieces. It's like what you said. Some of them you let go for a little bit less, but because you actually plussed up on others.
Yeah.
But that's just that's pretty much a risk because it's not a for sure thing. But there is some people that will pay, but it's not a whole lot of people.
When you sold your collection, do you get the same amount you put in?
No.
No, it's hard. It's
What's
hard because when you buy with passion, and when you sell with need.
Yeah. Because at that point in time, I was like, I didn't have the passion no more, and I needed to get parts.
So that's two different things.
But you got like 50%.
If you sell with passion, you might get out of it. See, like when you buy with passion, but now there's like the risk. Like when they buy with interest of getting money with the need, and they sell with passion. They have to sell you on this figure and all that. So that's where you make money. But when you buy with passion and you sell for need, you're for sure gonna lose money. That's for sure. Okay. So you have to see where you wanna or how you wanna sell it, right? So if you sell with passion, it might take you longer, for sure. All right. So, oh wow, I think we came back strong.
Yeah.
I think that was a good episode. I hope you guys like it. I mean, half of it we didn't think about it.
We talked about Yuli getting his ass whooped.
Yeah,
I liked it.
I wasn't ready. I didn't even think it was gonna come out to that. But anyways,
It's a good podcast. One of the best podcasts.
anything to entertain you guys. All right, so everybody. So thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for waiting on us to come back. We appreciate your time. So hope you guys liked it. And
bigger things coming soon.
Hope to see you in a couple of weeks. You know, it's always just a quick reminder. We always do an episode in Spanish and then an episode in English. Try to not break that pattern. We always do 1 week in Spanish, 1 week in English. So bear with us. So if you want to watch the ones in Spanish, you can auto translate in the YouTube on settings. You can watch us and just auto translate right there. But if not, we can see you in a couple of weeks. So thank you guys. Thank you,
guys.
Carlos. Thank you, Isaias.
Thank you guys. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Yeah.